All right, everyone. Happy 4th of July. I am Soup Dude, and I'm here with you guys for the Osaka Flagship. Here in the top 8, we have a doozy of a matchup here in OP16. We have Black Crocodile versus the rough hand of Boa Hancock. I hope he can still mulligan, because that there is tough. Yikers. Okay, well, at least hopefully he's going second. But, guys, this is going to be very interesting for many different reasons. Black Crocodile has not seen a ton of success at all recently when it comes to OP16 because he kind of gets countered a fair amount by some very popular decks. One of those is Green Blue Luffy. Beats the ever living snout out of Black Crocodile. He just can't deal with the aggression. And also, Rosinante has been one that has been a devilish problem for him. But he does seem to have a pretty fantastic hand. He's missing an early search, but he's got the Miss All Sunday. He's got the Mr. 2. He's got oh man, he's got the Luffy for late game to make himself a 7K. He has a super ideal start here. Full bias on the board. Black Crocodile is my current favorite deck. I will be biased towards them. But in terms of Boa Hancock, that is a deck that has been on the rise a fair amount recently. Frankly, the introduction of 8 cost Teach has been so good for Boa Hancock because you can trigger out some new cards from OP16, aka the new blockers that you can pop out of your life. It's been extremely strong for the deck, and we're going to see it displayed here in full steam, and we'll see which one can come out on top. Frankly, if Black Crocodile plays it right and does not swing into bodies a fair amount at the beginning or swing into life, then he can stall out pretty well without having to take out the bodies of Boa Hancock because he can just stun them, keep them around, swing at life when Boa already has a full board, and make some things happen. But on the other side of things, we'll see if Boa can aggress towards Crocodile. So that should be how the matchup plays out, and it looks like we are just in time to get things going. Ooh, that's actually so tough for Boa Hancock. We can see their hand. They have a bunch of even curve cards. They have a Zoro for 4. They have a Shukaku for 4. A couple other things, a Gorgon Sisters. But they don't really have anything for 6 Dawn. So, or excuse me, for an even curve. So that's going to be pretty tough for them. And we're already seeing the Miss Merry Christmas play down, milling it out, and milling 2 of your Mr. 2s. If you didn't have one in hand, that'd actually be pretty nasty. But since you have one in hand, it'll be okay. It's not the best, but it's fine. So on the other end of things, Boa might need to just swing 8 here. Yeah, exactly. They just didn't get any early plays. It's not the worst for them necessarily, but you do want to stack your life with Hiyori or just make something happen at the beginning. So it's pretty unfortunate they don't have much going on. Now for Crocodile, they're going to definitely play down that Mr. 2 and choose to not swing into life. Don't want to trigger anything out from the Boa. I love this play from them, making it so that they can't get any early aggression going against you. There's no reason to take any chances against Boa here, frankly, especially because, I mean, if Boa gets the thing rolling and they get a bunch of cards out, they can draw, and it's just a mess to deal with. So, he does the proper thing, he passes, and now we're going to play this down. It's going to be able to, for 4 Dawn, play this guy out, and you can swing a Dawn onto your leader at any point during your turn, and we're going to go 7 to lead, which is taken. Really standard stuff so far. It'll be interesting to see if you want to swing this Mr. 2 first before anything else. Whoa. Interesting. Since he drew into this searcher, he's going to get out a Mr. 4. Interesting thing here. Choosing not to get his Miss All Sunday, and he wants to get a Mr. 1 into the trash to bring that back out with Mr. 2. That makes a lot of sense. We're going to get at least a 1K counter into hand. We'll see if we want to play that out or not. And then we are going to start to swing with 5 at lead. With Boa here, we'll decide what we want to do. We could take this one. I could see that being the case. And are we gonna trigger anything? We're not. Not getting lucky with that just yet. And we are gonna go ahead and minus 10 cost by KOing our own Mr. 2. And we are gonna be pulling out the Rush Mr. 1. It's gonna rest down in that body. And I think Dawes Bones is gonna get some crack onto that Gorgon sister right there. That's gonna be pretty rough to deal with. Frankly, even if you defend out of this, there's going to be another 5k swing coming from leader as well. So we're going to give it up. The one positive thing from BOA, it does make CROC have to take a life. But then he's going to play down another searcher. This time he is disappointed. So we will be taking that. Trash it a couple. And we're going to get, it looks like another Mr. 1, I think. No, excuse me. We're going to be grabbing a crocodile here. Good stuff from him. So he is setting up for that late game, and he's playing down the blocker, trying to play rather defensive here at the beginning. I love that setup from him. He's just playing that down because there's no reason to establish too much more. And at this point, if you play defensive, you could have done so much stuff down with this crocodile. And this Mr. 4 can be whatever you need it to be. It could be a 2K, it could be an all Sunday. If there's a croc in there, I don't think there is, but he could grab that from trash. So things are looking pretty good so far on the side of Crocodile. Frankly, it's been helped out by BOA having a really rough start. I hope that BOA can start turning things around. They do have a couple BOAs in hand and a Moria, so there is a chance they start playing the more high cost cards to swing things in their favor, but they're already in a bit of a backfoot situation. They're looking at 7 Dawn here, and we're going to just swing 5 at face, leaving 5 up. CROC is going down to 1 life. I don't know if I like that, actually. He could have blocked or something. That's strange to me personally because BOA can just play down her 9 cost to rip your last life. You're at 0, and then if they're able to find their perfume fluid or their unblockable event, then you guys might be out of luck entirely. So, not sure if I like that play from CROC to take there. It seems pretty greedy, but we'll see how it plays out for him. On the other side of BOA, you are able to establish the Zoro and heal up a little bit, so you're feeling a little better. You just gotta hope you hit some triggers. You gotta hope for the trigger madness to get in there. Also, if you can get some hogbacks and trash, that'd be pretty nice too. And instead, ooh, we're going to choose to go for the All Sunday here right now instead of the Crocodile. It makes sense. There's only one character on board, so there's not a ton of point in putting out Crocodile to just done one thing. And we are going to be searching with this with this Nikita, and we're going to be grabbing, looks like we're eyeing up a 2K Miss All Wednesday. I was curious to see if they were all going to pull out the All Wednesday from trash, but instead they're going to favor, they are going to favor Makita here to get some extra search going, and this Nukakasu looks like their name is Nukasaku. They're just trying to read every single card from Crocodile here, and it makes sense. Crocodile's playing pretty quickly. Want to make sure everything's going as they should. And we're going to go ahead and KO another Mr. 2. Bring out another blocker for ourselves. The Mr. 5, a.k.a. the Gem. He's going to draw 2 and trash 1. And look at that. Oh my word. Look at the cards in their hand. I'm going to pause it here. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, trash this, it'll be 12. He only has 12 in hand, I guess. That's disgusting. That's silly. That's just silly. What the heck are we doing here? My goodness gracious. And we're setting up with a ton of trash as well, so we can be eyeing up that 7 cost Luffy here pretty darn soon. And we're playing another Searcher. We are getting low on deck size already. What are we looking for? Are we just looking for a ground death? We have a ground death and a CROC in there, so pretty unfortunate. We have to grab the ground death. I didn't see any in his hand yet. But my goodness. That is a lot of cards in hand. If we wanted to as well, we could at any point block with our Mr. 4 to grab the crocodile back. And this is what I was worried about, is if they play down this BOA, then we're just at 0 life. We have a bunch of blockers up on board too. So if he finds his unblockable event and just shoves a bunch of stuff onto leader, that's what they're showing on screen right now. Perfume Femur. It could be curtains for Black Crocodile. So we'll see how this progresses for KN. And we have 5-0 in life, but we're going to do a 5 at life, and we are considering a trigger. Okay. The first of many potentially from BOA. Looks like they're going to play out. Oh! The 8-Kosh Teach. Bang, boom, pow. Negates the effect of our Mr. 4 blocker. KOs it so he cannot get any cards from his trash. That is brutal to deal with here. And then we're immediately going in for a 6K swing at life. It looks like Bo only has 4 cards in hand. So she doesn't want to counter out right now. Nukasaku instead going to take that one and not a trigger again. An 8 at life. If the 6 was taken, you got to figure the 8 is going to be as well. Is it a trigger now? Okay. Okay, we're eyeing things up. Is it going to be a Moria trigger? It is indeed. And we're going to be able to... Oh, you could bring those back with Moria in this Boa Hancock deck. I didn't even think about that. Bringing that back to Recursion Dawn as well. And we are going to play down the Luffy. Make ourselves a 7K. But if we do that, then that means if they have Perfume Femur, they can make their 9-cost Boa unblockable. Because nothing got stunned. We are running a gamble here as CROC. Sure, we do have 3 Dawn up. And you're a 7K leader. But how big of a swing would that be? Especially so you can swing on Rested Dawn with your other character as well. I'm pretty sure that you'd be looking at... Is that 20? A 20,000 power swing? Or at least 19. But I don't see Perfume Femur in hand. I do see a cheeky 0-cost event. That's just... That makes me sad. Inside. Oofy, if that's what I'm seeing there. I think it is. Oh boy. Oh my goodness gracious. Did CROC bet it all on black? His color? And it pay off for him. Yeah, I feel like if you're Boa here, you just go ahead and make that play happen. But I'm not seeing it in their hand at all. KN doing the most, but also look at the size of Crocodile's hand. Look at that, dude. What is that nonsense? Brother has an accordion worth of cardboard in front of him right now. That's disgusting. And so things look so good for Bo a little bit ago in terms of board state or in terms of, you know, life state. But now she only has 2 life. CROC has 0, but he has an entire phone book in his hand. And it's tough to know how to deal with this. And we did swing the 10, and it's just going to be a single ground death to get out. We're not going to block at all. CROC saying, hey, if you had Perfume Femur right now, you would have played it on that BOA. I'm not worried about it. And we're going to play down the Nami. 5-cost Nami here. Not a card I typically see inside a BOA, but it makes a lot of sense. That Gorgon Sisters is the car in the far right there. That's the newer art of it. One of the newer winter cards that just came out. And we have a lot of nasty tricks in this. We have a Borsalino if things get too dicey. Actually, maybe even two, I think. Two. We're figuring out what cards to put at the bottom, what the worst cards in our hand are. That's one thing I've learned actually from watching Eggman. Whenever he puts cards back, he's like, so what are the worst cards in my hand? And it's a very simple concept. But if you think about what are the worst cards in my hand right now, to like put them in different directions, when you don't need them, it's really nice. But I think he actually put them on top. So he liked almost all the cards in there. Was a big fan of it. And he might be... Did I see an 8-cost Teach in hand? I wonder if they're trying to stack triggers here. No, I don't think so. But they can stack the triggers. Wait! Nami is brilliant. It allows you, when you're healing with BOA as well, to stack stuff on for when you heal up with 9-cost BOA and with your 8-cost Teach or your Borsalino. Really played by well played by Nukasaka there. Really well played. Okay, and KN on the other side of things. You're staring down a nasty board now. What's the first? What are we going to be doing here? Are we going to be trying to go 8 into 6 first? No. Just a 6 at life. Making sure to go 6 so it can't just be free blocked by the Borsalino or the Nami. And he's saying, go ahead and trigger something out. You got a full board there. If you want to play for something, be my guest. Another 6 at life. Okay. This one we're hovering a 2K in hand. Could be the right play. We got to mention we have 15 minutes left on the clock, so these decks have been kind of slow, but we still have a lot of time left. And we are going to block with Borsalino, which frees up some board space if you want to trigger something out with BOA. And I think that's exactly what we're doing. Exactly. We're going to trigger out that Gorgon Sisters. Probably the best trigger you could find flat out of the Amazon Lily characters in this deck. It is so incredibly strong because it allows you to reveal 3 cards in your hand. You can attach a Dawn onto each of your Amazon Lily characters. Incredibly good. And we did play the first Crocodile. Looks like we are going to stun that Boa Hancock, the 9-cost. We're going to KO our own Crocodile. We're going to trash the brick of All Sunday from our hand. And we're going to stun up. It looks like... I'd assume we're going to stun Zoro here, it looks like. Yeah. And you can draw a card off of each of those two because he had a 9-cost with BOA and then a 0-cost when he KO'd something. And there it is. So he stays at the entirety of Rhode Island's addresses inside of his hand, which is insane. My goodness gracious. Okay. Well, the board state hasn't changed a ton. We just don't have very ideal swings here if we are Boa Hancock because of that Nightmare Luffy. Making Crocodile a 7-cost feels so awkward. We're going to be playing down a BOA over our Zoro. Not even going to swing with it yet. And I think that means we're not going to be able to swing it all this turn. Oh, excuse me, because we're going to use our Gorgon Sisters. Reveal those 3 cards. I think that it might have been 3 2Ks. Swing on Dawns onto each of these characters. There we go. He knew what he was doing, and we are going to get some 7K swings out. Okay. We're going to do a 6 into 6. KN will gladly let that go. We're going to see a 7,000 power swing from BOA. We're going to 1K out. And then are we going to swing our Nami here? And our Gorgon sisters. The thing is, CROC can feel more comfortable clearing board if he chooses to do so, because he has no life. So killing an Amazon Lily character won't result in him taking anything because he has nothing to take. So Nukasaku is considering that and instead just goes ahead and passes the turn, wanting to play a lot more defensive, grinding this game out. And CROC has, hold on, 8, 12, 16, 20, 2 cards in the trash. Unless he's, is it stacks of 4? That's why I like to do it. Yeah, okay, it is stacks of 4. So 22. I don't know why it's stacks of 4. I think I saw Burgess do it once because they always do it and they count it by 4 across everything. So I do the same thing. But if you have 22 in trash, you're probably sitting at, if I remember, as a CROC player, probably sitting between like 10 to 12 cards left in deck. So you might need to watch that out, especially because every time you played on a crocodile, you have to draw. It's not me. You have to draw each time you play something out. So you really need to be careful about not decking out. Okay, so we're going to go for a 6,000 power swing. We are going to 2K with one of the cards we revealed previously. And an immediate 8K swing, no hesitation. We're going to read Luffy again. Probably find out how long it's going to take for him to become a 10K. It'll be an 8 more cards. And with that 8K swing, Nami just blocks it. And now it's a 10, and we should take and... Are we going to trigger something? If it's another Moria? It's another Moria! Oh! Oh my gosh. That's 2 Moria triggers from life here. My goodness gracious. Healing up with that Zoro. Just trash one from hand. And let's get another life on that board there, shall we? Oh, man, that's brutal. And frankly, if this goes to time and a timeout, Nukasaku is going to be in the best possible position. He will have more life, and he will certainly have more cards left in his deck, which are the 2 things that you look at in One Piece if you end in a tie after overtime. So that could be a possibility if we get there. But we still have plenty of time left. We see a 10,000 power swing for the crocodile. Nukasaku looks off to the right. Somebody in the in the audience gives him a thumbs up for support. That's my guess. I don't know what he looked at. And we're considering... I doubt we counter here. So I'm not sure what we're considering. Maybe they know it's a trigger and they don't want to have it be wasted because they don't want to play over anything. I'm not sure what they're considering here. Okay, yeah, they're just going to take it. And they did know it was a trigger, and they are going to play out a blocker. One of the new cards from OP16. Such a good card in this deck. Just being able to freely play out a blocker for free. It's not quite a Borsalino, but at least you play it for no cost at all. And it looks like we're going to be resting enough for another Croc, stunning down the other BOA. This crocodile has lived at 0 life for so long. And hold on a second. They're looking at the meta cards left in deck. I think it's less than I anticipated. Let's see here. If I can count, we got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I want to say like 7 left. So if you're drawing for turn and playing down Croc each turn, that's at least 2. And if you played another Croc, that's 3 cards you could draw next turn. So you might be down to just 2 turns left if you're KN. if that's the case. Also, does BOA not run Perfume Femur? What's going on? What are we doing? At this point, though, I don't think it would even be the right call, frankly. Because look at the. You can't see it again. The CROC still has this many cards in hand. That many. So I don't think BOA would even feel safe going for Perfume Femur, knowing that's the case. I think, frankly, the most likely option for them might be Deck Out. But we'll have to wait and see how they play this one. But if you're thinking that if you could survive 2 more turns against CROC, if my math is correct, you probably just live. 27. Got it. So 3 more cards left in trash in order to make Luffy that 10k. Which I don't think that matters a huge amount, but whatever. You never know. Okay. We got at least a ground death in there. Are there any others? I don't see any others. And I don't think Nukasaka does either. So that means that this player on our right, KN, could have a million, or at least 3 different ground deaths in hand. What's our play if we are BOA here? I feel like we teach and stall a little bit. It's not a bad call. Replace our Zoro. And then Gorgon Sisters up a little bit. It's kind of what I like the idea of. But at the very least, I don't think I want to press the aggression. They do have Perfume Femur in hand now. Okay. So they do have Perfume Femur. But I don't feel confident going for that this turn. If next turn CROC does not play out a blocker, or excuse me, another Crocodile to stun our 9-cost BOA, are going to go for a 7,000 power swing at the 7,000 power leader. And it will be 1K'd out with one of our cards in hand. And we are going to go for that teach. I think that makes sense. Look at the top 3. See what we can find here. It looks like it's going to be a 4-cost BOA blocker, a Nami, and it is going to be that card that when you trigger it out, you can get it from your life, and you can swing Dawn onto your leader. So honestly, not the craziest of triggers. If it was another Moria, that would be absolutely ridiculous. But not today. We are going to reveal 3 Amazon Lily cards from hand, 2 2Ks, and the one that we just picked up. I think it's Ren. And then we're going to throw some Dawn on to lead. And we are just going to block to free up space for KN here. And I don't think we're going to see a swing at all. We're not. It makes a lot of sense. Nikusaku, they're going for this deck out angle, it looks like. And KN, I think they're well aware of it. We have a lot of strong bodies on board, though. So we're going to go a 5,000 power swing to lead. We're going to counter out with the card we already showed. Now an 8. We at home know what that next card is. And it's not anything too special. It wouldn't feel too great to trigger that out here at all, frankly. It would be just one I would just put in my hand. I don't think I triggered out. The only thing that would make me want to trigger it out is if we blocked here with our blocker. And then, and this next swing, we trigger it out to keep a full board. That's what I would consider being the possibility here. So we're going to go 2-2. I think that's a good call. Counter out of one of the smaller swings. I think this is what we block. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Block here. Get a swing at a CROC. Wait for it. See if we're a 30k yet. I think we should be. Are we 29? I think we had 29 in track. Oh, okay, we are 30. Okay. We have 30 now. We have barely any cards left in our deck. Go for 30 at life, and I think this is when we trigger and pop it out. Makes a lot of sense. Now, another 10 at life. And we are going to go down to 1. I know we had another Borsalino in hand, so I don't feel too bad for BOA here yet. We do have another CROC, but is that? That's insane. That's crazy. Seeing 3 CROCs here. I guess he has had a million cards in hand. But now things are dicey. And we're trashing a brick from hand too, stunning the other BOA. We still have 2 Dawn up as well. And we're passing the turn. Okay, but he has no blockers on the side of his field. He could just load up 10 Dawn onto this Teach and go 20 at life. But I don't think that ever gets through. What do you do here as BOA? Yeah, if you look at his hand too, you can see... I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't tell those. 5, at least 6 2Ks in hand. So 12K counter plus 2 ground deaths. So he has 20K counter at least in hand. Which means anything that BOA does, swinging wise, he does not care about. $20K counter in hand. That's insane. The survivability on Black Crocodile is pretty dang stupid. And I say that as a Crocodile player. And we're going to start with the 10. That's just a single ground death. Or frankly, I would go 2 2s here. Yeah. You have 2Ks in spades. And we are going to play down that Borsalino. Stall out another turn. And I see only 2 cards left in KN's deck. And we played out another Borsalino. We're down to 1 card left. This is the last turn of the game. It all hinges upon this. We do have 2 ground deaths, though. We can negate those Borsalinos. We're going to use 1. We're going to negate 1 Borsalino. Nukasaku is already ready for it. And we are going to play another 3. We're going to negate the other Borsalino. And now we have 4 Dawn remaining. We have 6 swings to our name. BOA has 3 life, needing that 4 of our swings need to connect. At least. And that's not counting Moria triggers or blocker triggers. 8 at life. This is one that BOA needs to counter if she can. This is one that BOA needs to counter if she can. It's going to be the lightest of these swings, potentially. It's time to lean in. This is where things get crazy. They're hovering cards in hand. Do they have enough? Okay. Looks like they're hovering the 0 cost event. Get a brick out of hand. And 1 more card. I think you have to. I think you absolutely have to if you're BOA here. Taking makes no sense to me. Yep, we can 0 cost out. Get rid of that, and we're going to get an extra 1K. Leave ourselves with 2 cards in hand. Now Crocodile has 5 swings. I was going to say we're going to go for a 9. Wow, I thought we were going to go for a 7 there. Okay, we're going to go for a 9. It's guaranteed. Go for a 10. Any triggers? No triggers yet. Are there any triggers here? BOA needs one now. They look at their trash. No triggers? Is that game? And that's gonna be it? No way! BOA no longer had the triggers that she needed. And because of that, Black Crocodile, with 1 card left in his deck, is going to take that victory and move on to top 8. What a game.